Hey guys, my name is Thomas. I'm here at the OU intramural fields right now, and I'm basically, my goal today is to teach you guys a little bit about Arnis. Arnis is actually a martial art, and it's originated in the Philippines. The type of Arnis, it's got a lot of cousins. It's got Arnis, Kali, Eskrima, and Salat are actually all very similar martial arts. But what we have now, what I'm going to be showing you is a very modernized version. And the reason why I'm showing you the modernized version and not the Kali and Eskrima and Salat is because those arts are killing arts. They're taught to kill people, you know. This is more of an aerobic style of martial arts. So I'm going to be showing you a little bit of the exercise, what to do when you get started, what not to do, and just a little bit of the exercise. So I'm going to start. First, I'm going to give you a little introduction. This is what's called rattan. We call it just canes in the Philippines, but rattan is a specific kind of wood. It doesn't break easily, and it's very good at smacking. You know, it's very good at withstanding the hits. All right. So what I'm going to be doing, let me show you a little bit about the tradition. This is how we bow in the Arnis. No cane, single cane, double cane. All right, same thing. All right, then we also have, when you're bowing to a master, you bow like this. Your stick is like this. All right, and the whole concept behind it is you're making mano, or you're respecting your elders. In the Philippine culture, that's what you do. You take the hand of the elder and you put your forehead to it, like, I want your wisdom. It's sort of like a blessing from your elders type deal. And during the fighting, we usually cross sticks before we spar, and we do something like this. We cross sticks, and bam, we hit the floor to begin the fight. All right, now I'm not going to show you how to fight because I don't have, because again, I'm just going to show you the aerobic parts of it. But then we're going to go to the warm-up. Warm-ups. Take your hand over here, grab it, pull it back towards you like an Indian feather. All right, and you want to hold that position for about 8 seconds. All right, next, do the same thing with the other hand. And then what you're going to do now is you're going to go from here, you see it? Take the other hand and bring it down. And this is very important because your wrists and the hands can get injured if you don't do this. Could get strained and such. Again, down, bring it all the way down to here. Next, we're going to stretch like this. That. Just basically pulling your hand back as far as it can go, so you can stress the tendons that are going down here. All right, now we're going to start the workouts with the sticks. Now you can use any kinds of sticks. If you're just starting out, use something really light. You can use a branch that fell on the ground. Just make sure it's not too dry and it doesn't splinter, so you don't get nasty splinters. That's one of the good things about these rattans. They don't splinter very easily. So let's get started. All right. So first, you want to take your 2 sticks, whatever you have. You want to stretch them, both ends, and you just want to shake them. All right. All right. Next up, this is a little more complicated. It's going to take some dexterity, but you basically want to do figure 8s. All right. Now again, I'm going to show you figure 8, in, out, and that's going to take some practice, and especially more practice to do it with both hands at the same time. But that's actually the least that we have to worry about with what I'm going to show you. So once you feel your arms are well loosened up, we're going to start doing just the basic strikes down. It's important, whatever stick you use, to hold it firmly in your hand. Otherwise, you could probably let go of it, and that's not good. Especially, you might hit someone accidentally. So it's very important to develop your grip. So down, 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 down. And you don't want to overswing it. This is all about control. All right? Down. Try to stop your stick when you're parallel to the ground. Next, do it with both sticks. Down, up, down, up, down, up. All right. Next up, we're going to do something a little more complicated, and that's we're going to twirl down, twirl our sticks down. Like this. Back up. Slowly, basically it's just you're just twirling it up and down, baton. Alright? Now, eventually we're going to get to the more complicated parts. Eventually, we're going to go, and I'm going to show you how to do this. We're going to end up rotating up and down at the same time, and we're going to switch it from left hand to right. This is the hardest thing to learn, but once you learn it, you'll never forget it. It's like riding a bicycle when you can wield two sticks at one time. All right, cohesively. All right, up, down, up, down. If you think you can do it, just practice. Start with this, and then try motion. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, up, down, down, up, down, up, down. Once you got that correctly, try to combine the two motions. It's going to take practice. Up, down, boom, boom. And what my old teacher, my old master, my guru, we call masters guru in the Philippines, what my guru used to say, don't worry about speed. Speed comes later. Just worry about the form right now. So, yeah. Also, what not to do when you're training is don't stress yourself out when you're trying to get this down. Because accidentally one time I went, getting a little too frustrated. I did this, and I hit myself in the forehead. Luckily, these canes aren't too deadly, but, eventually we get to the point where you can snap the coconut a flick of a wrist. So, all right. After that, I'm going to show you a little more complicated movements with two sticks. All right. From here, eventually when you get that done, you're going to want to try to do this. All right. Basic aerobics. And if you can do this, I'd say do this about 100 times and you'll get a good workout for your arms and your arms flexibility. Alright, now from there, we're going to do striking drills. Normally we would require either a punching bag, a tire, or even a stick tied to a string. But since we've got nothing right now and we're just working with whatever sticks you can find, just strike the air, which in this case would be strike, strike, strike. If you can find a tree, a beat up tree or an old dead tree, and you want to start practicing hitting on it, it's a great way to develop your grip. Alright, so if you want to smack a tree as hard as you can, or even hold a cane in your one hand, if you want to work on strengthening your grip, hold the stick with your left hand and your other stick in your right, and just start smacking. And this way you'll be able to develop your grip on your cane. Then switch. Alright, so now I'm going to show you something a little more complicated, and when you guys get most of the basics done, you can dual wield sticks just fine, then you can move on to this. Basically, it's what we call sinawali. It's supposed to be done with a partner, and the partner and you are supposed to be doing it at the exact same time. But if you can find a pole or a tree to practice on, you can do that too. So it's a series of strikes. The first sinawali is this. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you just keep going. And you do that for about 2 minutes on a tree. If you're doing it by yourself, then you can dance a little bit. You know what I mean? Don't really matter. We'll worry about footwork later. Also, when you get good enough, you can reverse it and go the opposite direction. And you can combine the two. Boom. All right, what else? Yes. We can also do these exercises. But I would strongly recommend you getting the basics of double stick twirling down of modern Arnis. Because then you can combine these into these exercises. And then just sort of like play with the sticks and mix them up a little bit. And then you can have them strike. Expect a lot of calluses to develop on your hands. And expect to bleed a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you, that's how it is for like the first 10 days of you training. Your hands are gonna get calloused and they're gonna start to bleed and blister, but that's all part of the game. Strongly recommend bringing bandages, or if you're starting to bleed a little bit, wear some gloves. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned a little bit about modern Arnis, even if it is just the basic introduction to the art. If you plan on exploring this martial art further, I would firmly recommend finding a modern Arnis /Kali/Eskrima school and learn from them, because it definitely helps to have a partner training with you. Lastly, I want to say not to be discouraged, especially during the early parts of the training. It's going to be incredibly frustrating the first time you give it a try, but once you learn it, as I've said, it's like riding a bike and you will not forget it. Thanks again for watching.